is the plant manager of Toyota Motor Corporation, and she wants to determine the product mix that will result in maximum profit. She is able to determine the data necessary for her to make the decision. It will take 10 minutes to weld 1 unit of Corolla and 18 minutes to weld 1 unit of Vios, and she has a total of 180 minutes available for the welding process per day. It will take 20 minutes to assemble 1 unit of Corolla and 20 minutes to assemble 1 unit of Vios, and she has a total of 400 minutes available for the assembly process per day. It will take 16 minutes to paint 1 unit of Corolla and 12 minutes to paint 1 unit of Vios, and she has a total of 192 minutes available for the painting process per day. She will earn $6,000 for every unit of Corolla produced and $4,000 for every unit of Vios produced. How many units of Corolla and Vios should be produced per day to maximize profits? How much is the total profit?
Hello everyone, good day to all of you. So welcome to our presentation of the linear programming special cases models. And for this presentation, we will be focusing on the redundancy case. So let's start our next na topic, again redundancy. And before we start pala, our redundancy case of the linear programming, ito ay ginagamit naman for the problems wherein, or ginagamit or makikita rather, sa mga problems wherein some constraints are redundant. Meaning, parang naulit yung constraint. Redundant siya. The presence or absence of this line, yung line ng constraint na yon, kung nandyan man siya or wala, do not affect the solution of the problem. So, ito dito pag-aaralan natin na yung isang constraint na naulit o redundant, hindi naman pala nakaka-apekto sa final solution ng problem. Either nandyan siya or wala siya. So, para mas maliwanag, we will be having our next na example problem, and ang problem natin for this presentation is all about Toyota. So, mamaya malalaman nyo kung paano ba naging redundancy yung ganitong case. So, let's have first our problem. So, yan. Naomi is the plant manager of Toyota Motor Corporation, and she wants to determine the product mix that will result in maximum profit. So, she is able to determine the data necessary for her to make the decision. It will take 10 minutes to weld 1 unit of Corolla and 18 minutes to weld 1 unit of Vios. And she has a total of 180 minutes available for the welding process per day. So, meaning first process natin is welding. And sabi dito, it will take 20 minutes to assemble 1 unit of Corolla and 20 minutes to assemble 1 unit of Vios. And she has a total of 400 minutes available for the assembly process per day. It will take 16 minutes to paint 1 unit of Corolla and 12 minutes to paint 1 unit of Vios, and she has a total of 192 minutes available for the painting process per day. She will earn $6,000 for every unit of Corolla produced and $4,000 for every unit of Vios produced. Now, the question is, how many units of Corolla and Vios should be produced per day to maximize profits? How much is the total profit? So, meaning our problem for this topic is all about maximization. So, let's have our table. So, as you can see, almost same siya doon sa problem natin sa Honda. Kasi yung mga constraint natin are the process, which are the welding, assembly, and painting. Yung welding yung 1, assembly yung considered as second constraint, and third constraint is painting. Sabi dito, we have a available minutes per day natin for welding is 180 minutes, for assembly 400, and for painting 192. This is the reason kung bakit sila yung kinonsider natin na constraint and not the units, which are the Corolla and Vios, X sub 1 and X sub 2. So, for Corolla, they have 10 minutes for welding, 20 minutes for assembly, and 16 minutes for painting. Every single unit yan, ha? Baka malito kayo. Every unit yan. And for videos, every unit, ang tagal niya for welding is 18 minutes, for assembly, 20, and for painting, 12 minutes. So, every Corolla unit na napoproduce, they will earn $6,000. So, tulad nung sa Honda natin last time, this is in thousands dollars, no, yung profit na nakalagay. And of course, for videos, they will earn additional $4,000. And the goal, maximization. Since we are maximization, alam nyo na ang sign dyan is less than or equal, as explained sa ating mga naunang discussions. No, so let's have our computation. So, sige, lagi namang una natin ginagawa, no, sa mga linear programming problems is to identify or to write our objective function and of course our constraint. So objective function, we can now write our objective function. Balikan natin dito. Ito, no, 6 tsaka 4 tapos max. So meaning our objective function is to maximize the profit. Max Z. C stands for the profit equals 6 sub 1 plus 4 x sub 2. And this objective function is of course subject to constraint. We have 4 constraint. Wag po natin kakalimutan yung ating non-negativity constraint. So for the first constraint, this is the constraint ng ating welding process. No? So ang ating welding process is 10 for Corolla, so we will be having 10 x sub 1 plus 18 x sub 2 less than or equals to 180. Next, pangalawa, we have 20 x sub 1. Ito naman yung constraint na may kinalaman sa assembly process plus 20 x sub 2 less than or equals to 400. For the third constraint, we have 16 x sub 1 plus we have 12 x sub 2 less than or equals to 192. Last constraint, our x sub 1 and our x sub 2 should be greater than or equals to 0. Bawal magkaroon ng negative. Pwedeng may 0, pero bawal ang negative. Okay? So, I hope sa moment na to, dahil nakailang problem na tayo ng linear programming, I hope hindi na kayo nalilito sa paggawa natin ng objective function and ng constraints natin. No? So, sige. Para mas para mas madalian tayo, in every computation, gamit tayo ng iba-ibang kulay for every constraint. No? Para pag nag-graph tayo, mas madali nyo maintindihan. Sige, gamit tayo ng yellow for constraint number 1. Solve muna natin ang ating constraint number 1. So, C1. Yan. Sige. So, ang ating equation for C1 is 10 x sub 1. Kopyahin lang natin sa taas, no? 18 x sub 2. Equate na natin yan to 180. Hindi na tayo gagamit ng inequality para masagad kaagad natin, no, sa 180. Then, yan. Let x, alam nyo na, no? Gamayin nyo na sana ito. X sub 1 equals 0. So, 10 times 0 plus 18. X sub 2 equals 180. So, cancel. Divide both sides by 18 para mawala yan. Maiwan si x sub 2. Ang sagot natin for x sub 2 is 10. Therefore, if our x sub 1 is 0, our x sub 2 will be 10. We have now our first point. No? So, next, second point natin, let x sub 2 naman equals 0. So, 10 x sub 1 plus 18, 0, multiplied to 0, no, equals 180. So, cancel, divide both sides sa 10, divide din ito sa 10. So, x sub 1 will be equals to 180 divided by 10, that is 18. Ibig pong sabihin, if our x sub 2 is 0, our x sub 1 will be 18. Yan na. Okay na, 2 point na. No? So, constraint 2 tayo. Gamit tayo ng isang kulay. Anong magandang kulay? Mag-sky blue naman para kita siya sa violet na ating background. So, yan. For C2, equation natin ay ito. So, copy the equation. 20 x sub 1 plus 20 x sub 2 equals na agad natin para mas agad-agad siya to 400. Let x sub 1 equal 0. So, 20 multiplied to 0 plus 20. X sub 2 equals 400. Cancel ito. So, divide both sides to 20 para maiwan si x sub 2 lang. Dahil siya yung hinahanap natin. So, 400 divided by 20, that is 20. Meaning to say, if our x sub 1 is 0, our x sub 2 is 20. So, we have now our first point. For the second point natin ng constraint number 2, let x sub 2 equals 0 naman. No? So, we have now 20 x sub 1 plus 20 x sub 2, which is 0 na, equals to 400. Cancel ito. Divide both sides by 20 para makancel yan. And ito, divide din. No? So, x sub 1 equals 400 divided by 20. So, that is 20. Therefore, if our x sub 2 is 0, our x sub 1 is 20. And that's it. 2 point na rin tayo for our constraint number 2. Now, solve naman natin ang ating constraint number 3. So, for constraint number 3, let's use color orange. So, constraint number 3. Our equation for constraint number 3 is 16 x sub 1 plus 12 x sub 2 equals 190. Baka nakakalimutan nyo ha, saan po nanggaling yan, sir? Ito lang po. No, yung painting. Ayan yung pangatlong constraint natin. 16, 12, and 192. So, yan. Sige, so, tulad ng mga nauna, no, first step, let natin x sub 1 as 0. So, 16 multiplied to 0 plus 12 x sub 2. Again, pwede nyo pong unahin na x sub 2 is 0 para una nyo makuha is x sub 1. Wala po akong problema doon. No, I don't want na lahat kayo sundin yung method ko dahil iba-iba naman tayo ng personality and of course, iba-iba tayo ng technique and way kung saan tayo mas nadadalian sa pag-solve ng mathematics. No, as long as we are talking with the same numbers and talking with the same final answer, wala pa akong problema doon. No, so, cancel ito. Divide both sides sa 12 para maiwan ng x sub 2. And that will give us is answer na 192 divided by 12. That is based sa ating calculator. No, sana sinusundan nyo ako. Bring out your pen, your paper, and calculator para mas magamay ninyo. That will give us an answer of 16. Okay, meaning to say, if our x sub 1 is 0, our x sub 2 is 16. Okay, so now let x sub 2 equal 0 naman. Copy the equation. Palitan lang ang x sub 2 ng 0. And equals 192. This will be cancelled. Divide natin to 16. Cancel, divide 16. X sub 1, 192, divide 16 daw. No, so that will give us an answer of 12. Ibig pong sabihin, if our x sub 2 is 0, our x sub 1 will be 12. Ayan na, okay na. No? So, pagsamasamahin natin sila para makita natin yung summary ng ating mga coordinate pair. For C1, no, C1, C2, and C3. Unahin pala natin C3, dito na tayo sa C3. So, 0 and 16. Tapos 12 and 0. For C2, 0, 20, and 20, 0. Baliktaran. 0, 20, 20, and 0. Sa C1, 0, 10, and 18, 0. So, 0, 10, and 18, 0. Yan. Kung titignan nyo, ang pinakamataas is 20. No? Gawa ulit tayo ng graph ngayon. And, pinapangarap ko talaga magpantay to eh. Yan. Kaya ko yan. Yan. Tapos, o diba, nai-improve ko na. Mukhang pantay na siya. By 2s gawin natin, no? So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Ayan, pwede na yan. Send, lagyan na 0 sa ating origin. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Pasabra tayo. 4, 6, 8, 16, 18, 20, and alright. So, yan. Kung maalala nyo, no, gumamit tayo ng iba-ibang kulay. Gumamit tayo ng yellow as far as I can remember for C1. Yellow nga ba? Check natin para di tayo magkamit yan. Yellow for C1. And i-plot natin yung point na to. 0, 10, tapos 18, 0. So, we have 0 daw yung X, tapos 10. Yan. And 18, and 0. So, ito yung magiging line ng ating C1. No, connect lang natin sila. And ito ang ating C1. Yan, nasaan yung shaded region? Ganito na lang para mabilis. Maganda pa. Pag guhit-guhit, hindi pantay. Struggle ko talaga yung guhit, no? So, yan. Ito na lang ang ating feasible region for our C1. Now, for our C2, that is color blue, no? Sky blue. So, C2 natin is 0, 20, and 20, 0. So, lagay natin 0, 20. Tapos, 20, and 0. Lagay natin, connect natin sila. Yan, o, diba? And kung papansinin nyo, yung buong feasible region, gamit lang ang C1 na constraint, nasakop ni C2. No? Ganun siya. Eh, di ikaw na C2. Yan, nasakop niya. Ito ang kanyang feasible region. Yan. Ang lawak ng sakop ni, ni C2. Yan. Yan, okay. So, for C3, ang gamit natin is orange, no? And balikan natin yung point. Anong sabi niya? Ang point ng C3 is 0, 16, tapos 12, 0. So, 0 and 16, dito siya. And 12 and 0. 12 daw ang X, tapos walang Y. So, dito na siya. 12, 0. Ibig sabihin, ito naman yung point ng C3. Ayan. So, C3. Ito lang. So, may mga area na nasakop ni C3, yung C2 and C1. No, may mga area naman na hindi niya nakuha. Ito, natanggal na. No, so, lumiit. Ito siya. Ayan. Ito ang region naman ni C3. And guys, kung naalala nyo, balikan natin yung topic natin ng max and min na graph, no, na basic LP. Kapag maximization, ang ating feasible region ay nasa loob. Ibig kong sabihin, if that's the case, hanapin natin ngayon yung corner points. Pinakaunang corner point, lagi naman yan, is of course yung 0. Pero dahil 0 siya, parehong 0, of course, wala kang profit. Kaya di siya kinakonsider. Pero for the shading ng ating feasible region, syempre, kasama siya. No, so, ayan, pataas, papunta dito. Saan yung region na nagsama-sama yung tatlong guhit? No, yung mga constraint 1, constraint 2, constraint 3. Yung nag-overlap sila. No, so, ito yun. Ito yung region na yun. And, papunta dito. Ito, yan. Hanggang dito lang dahil ito yung intersection na. No, yan. Tapos, pababa dito. Yan. Ito na siya. At pabalik ng 0. No, so, ibig pong sabihin, ito ang ating feasible region. No, itong area kung saan common sa kanilang tatlo. C1, C2, and C3. Ayan. Ito ang ating feasible region. Now, labeling tayo ng mga corner points. So, we have first point, we have A. Again, nilalagay ko lang po yan dahil inuuna ko yung mga may 0. We have B. And parang 13. We have B. Yan. B yan na, B yan. Yan. And we have point C. Okay na? So, dito, 3 point ang meron tayo. Unahin natin yung point A. Ba't ko pala ito binilugan? Wala lang yan. So, point A, solve natin. White ulit tayo para malinaw. Point A, ang point A natin, kung titignan nyo, no, ang point A, ang coordinate pair niya is 12 and 0. So, 12 and 0. Substitute po natin yan sa ating objective function. Kung nakakalimutan ang objective function, ito po siya, max C, 6x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2. So, copy 6x sub 1. Napipindot ko. Wait lang, 6x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2. So, sabi ni point A, 12 and 0 lang daw. So, 6 times 12 plus 4 times 0. This will give us, cancel ito, no? This will give us a profit of 6 times 12 is 72. And 0 naman ito. No? So, 72, kung babalikan natin, this is in thousands. No? Sabi kasi dun sa ating table, lahat daw ng profit ay naka $1,000. Ayan. So, $72,000. Yan. Okay. So, erase natin yung mga ang dumi. Yan, para malinis. Pangit na nga yung sulat, ang dumi pa. Yan. Okay na. So, for point A, we have $72,000. For point B, we have 0 and 10. No, 0 and 10. Ayan siya. 0 and 10. So, substitute natin sa ating objective function na 6x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2. So, 6 multiplied to 0 plus 4 multiplied to 10. So, cancel yan. And this will give us a profit of 4 multiplied to 10. This is 40. And since naka $1,000 tayo, this will be $40,000 for point B. No, so, okay na tayo sa point A. Okay na rin tayo sa point B. Alright, so next natin is the final point. If you can observe, no, ang ating point C, this is the intersection of the two lines, which are yung yellow and itong orange, no? Ang yellow line natin is yung C1 and yung orange natin is C3. Ibig sabihin, constraint 1 and constraint 3, pagsamahin natin sila for us to be able to find the value of our point C. No? So, let's have ito, point C. Lagyan natin intersection para maalala lang natin of C1 and C3. So, sige. Ano yung ating, kung naalala nyo pa, ano yung ating equation for C1? Na, balikan natin. Sabi sa C1, ang C1 daw is eto, no, 10, 18, and 180. Ang C3 naman, 16, 12, and 192. Sige, let's now solve for our point C. So, C1, we have 10 x sub 1 plus 18 x sub 2 equals 180. For our constraint number 2, we have 16 x sub 1 plus 12 x sub 2 equals 190. Now, I hope nakakasunod pa kayo. Madali pa lang naman yan. And, i-multiply natin sila para ma-cancel. Yung unang equation, multiply ko sa 12 dahil 12 ito. Then, yung pangalawa, multiply ko sa 18 dahil 18 ito. Pero gawin natin negative para may maka-cancel tayo na x sub 2 muna. No, pero if you want, pwede nyo gawing itong 16 tapos ito ay negative 10. Para unang maka-cancel is x sub 1. No, una nyo makakuha, x sub 2. Pwede rin po yun. And kahit anong way naman sa akin, okay lang. So, yan. 10 multiplied to 12, this is 120, x sub 1. 18 times 12, this is 216, x sub 2. 180 multiplied to 12, this is 2,160. No? So, next, we have 16 multiplied to negative 18. This is negative 288 x sub 1 plus negative 216. No? So, kapag ganyan, gawin na po natin ito na negative na kaagad. And white. Yan. So, magiging negative 216 x sub 2 equals 192. Multiply natin sa negative 18. This is negative 3,456. So, cancel ito, then i-add natin. 120 plus negative 288, mas malaki yung negative, therefore this will be negative 168 x sub 1 equals, same dito ng case, no? So, positive 2160 plus negative 3,456, this will give us negative 1,296 na answer. And divide natin both sides sa 168 para maiwan yung x sub 1 dyan. No? So, negative 168. Therefore, x sub 1 will be equals to positive, based sa ating calcu, positive 54 over 7 for fraction. Or katumbas niya kapag dinesimal natin, 7.71. No? So, sige, substitute natin yan sa ating, ito, yung unang equation natin na 10x sub 1 plus 18. Or kung ayaw niya sa pangalawa, pwede rin naman. No, 18x sub 2 equals 180. So, we have 10 multiplied to 54 over 7 plus 18x sub 2 equals 180. Now, itong 10 multiplied sa 54 over 7 will give us a 540 over 7 na improper fraction plus 18x sub 2 equals 180. Lipat ito sa kabila. No? So, 118 x sub 2 equals 180 minus 540 over 7. And 18 x sub 2 equals, kapag pinerform natin ito, itong part na ito, anong value na ito? This will give us an answer of improper fraction pa rin na 720 over 7. Now, para maiwan yung x sub 2, we need to divide the whole equation, no, both sides sa 18. So, x sub 2 equals, kapag dinivide po natin yan sa 18, this will give us a 5.71 na value. Ibig sabihin, ang ating point C is 7.71 and 5.71. Ayan, no? So, that is the value of our point C. No? And I hope nakakuha nyo. Now, ang next natin gagawin is, of course, we need to substitute yung nakuha nating value ng point C para makita natin ano yung katumbas niyang profit. No? So, ang equation natin for our objective function, again, is 6x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2. No? So, substitute natin yung point C. Ang x sub 1 is 7.71 plus 4. Ang x sub 2 is 5.71. This will give us a profit, or rather a final answer of $69,142.86. No, if i-check nyo siya sa Calcu, ayan ang ibibigay sa iyo na sagot. Guys, ayan kapag exact na ako kasi ito diniretso ko siya, no, pero if gagamit kayo ng ang tawag dito ng fraction, no, makakuha nyo yan. Kapag kasi ito lang, 2 decimal lang, sa Calcu 69,100. Ayun yung sinasabi ko last time, na kapag nag-fraction kayo, iba ang lalabas. Ito lang yan eh, kapag ito lang ang gamit mo. Pero if nag-fraction ka, kasi sinama mo lahat, no, halimbawa, ginawa mong 6. Halimbawa, ganito ang ginawa mo, no, 6, multiply mo sa fraction ng x sub 1, 54 over 7. Ba yun? Tama ba ako? Oo, tama. Plus 4. Tapos yung fraction ng x sub 2 na, ano nga ulit yun? Diniretso ko ng 571, no? Okay, tignan muna natin. Balikan ko 540 over 7 over 7. Dapat nagko-compute kayo ngayon, no? Divided by 18. Yun, 40 over 70. 7 pala. 40 over 7 ang katumbas nito. 40 over 7. So, ito ay 40 over 7. Di ko yata nailagay ito sa kahapon. Sa nakaraang slide. Ayan, di ko nailagay. This is x sub 2 equals 40 over 7. Katumbas niya ay 5.71. Now, if ganyan ang ilalagay nyo sa ating objective function, no, i-perform nyo sa Calcu yan ngayon. 6 times 54 over 7 plus yung product ng 4 multiply sa ating 40 over 7. Bibigyan niya tayo ng exact na sagot kapag i-multiply mo siya sa 1,000 dahil naka $1,000 ang ating profit. Bibigyan tayo ng $69,142.86. No? So, ayan. 42.86. Ayan. Ganyan siya. Ito ay 69,100 lang talaga. Kapag naka-decimal kayo, I hope nakakuha nyo yung, ito yung lagi kong sinasabi, no, na mas maganda mag-fraction kayo kasi mas exact yung ibibigay sa'yo, 69,100. Sa dulo na lang kayo mag-round off. So, ito ay 69,100. Kaya naman ako dito, sa kabilang slide, binibigay ko yung may point for you para makita nyo kung nasa tamang point ba talaga siya. Tulad nito, 7.71 tsaka 5.71. Nasaan yun? Around dito. Ito, dapat nandito banda yan. Yan. Ito, tapos 5.71 yan. Medyo tama naman yung placement ng point natin sa graph. No, I hope nakukuha nyo siya. And tingnan natin yung profit. For point C, ang profit natin is 69,100 plus. Yung dalawa naman, point A and point B, ang profit 72 at 40. So, ano po yung pinakamalaki? No, point A, point B, or point C? Definitely, ang pinakamalaki dyan is point C. Point A. No? We have $72,000. Yun pala yung reason bakit ko siya nabilugan kanina. Ayan, itong point na yan. 12 and 0. No, tama ba? 12 and 0. Yes, 12 tapos 0 ang Y. Sir, tapos na tayo. Nasaan na yung topic? Okay, balikan natin. Ito is familiarization sa graph, guys. Ang topic natin, linear programming, special cases. Diba? And specifically, 4 yan. Ang topic natin ngayon is redundancy. Oops, yan. Redundancy. And sabi ko kanina, if naaalala nyo pa, no, pinakaunang part ng presentation, this is used in the problems wherein some constraints used or nakikita siya sa mga problem, no, when we solve, na yung constraint are redundant. The presence or absence of this line do not affect the solution of the problem. Ibig pong sabihin, if babalik tayo sa graph natin, ito, no? Check nyo. Paano siya naging redundancy? Kasi po, meron tayong constraint number 2. And kung titingnan natin, no? Mawala man yung constraint number 2 or nandyan siya, walang mababago. No? Kasi una-una, hindi naman siya part ng feasible region. Diba? Ang feasible region natin ay ito. Ito, hanggang dito. Nasaan yung constraint number 2? Sinakop niya lahat eh. Napakalaki niya, no? Sinakop niya lahat. Kaya parang nagiging redundant siya. Kaya siya yung topic na redundancy. No? So, kahit nandyan siya or wala, okay lang. No? So, madali mo pong makikita if the problem is a special case or a redundancy type of problem sa kanyang graph. No? Kapag ganito yung graph, redundancy yan. So, this problem is a redundancy type of linear programming special case because of our second constraint. Based on the graph, the existence or absence of it doesn't affect the answer. Kasama man siya or wala siya dyan, makakuha pa rin natin yung optimum na profit. Nakuha po, ibig sabihin, yung C2, ano yung C2 na yon? Ano yung C2 na yon? Anong constraint siya? Assembly, yan. Ibig sabihin, kahit tanggalin mo na pala tong assembly, kahit di mo na siya isama sa decision making mo as an IE sa field, no? Makakuha mo pa rin yung optimum solution. No? Isama mo siya or not, okay lang. No? That's the redundancy special case of linear programming. I hope na-explain ko ng malinaw sa inyo. I hope na gets ninyo. And wag pong kakalimutan, lagi kong sinasabi, wag kakalimutan lahat ng naunang topic dahil magkakadugtong po ang ating mga discussions. No? So, that ends up our discussion for this topic. And I hope you learned something. See you on the next presentation and keep safe always. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.